We got my favorite special guests in the building. We got Neptune once again. We got my boy Wade, Kushmaster in the building once again. So you already know how it is. We back to give y'all some more value, you know what I'm saying? Come to the table, we chop it up. We got the herbs on deck. Got Neptune rolling it up right now. We got chamomile on there. The same thing I had in the last few talk, chamomile, mullein, sage, and passion flower. You know what I'm saying? Once again, herbs dealing with, relaxation and just calm the nerves and things of that nature. So, yeah, man, we definitely gonna get into it. And last time we had them on, we was, the topic of discussion was veganism. We was going in on that, and how we can use that to better ourselves, not only ourselves, but our community. Even going into things like dark energy and melanin. So I'm happy we got this street talk session going again because, man, I've been going down, the wormhole, the rabbit hole a little bit, talking about, I've been looking into AI, artificial intelligence, pretty heavy. And when it comes to how it's advancing and how we are advancing with it, if we having, the dark energy within us that's connected with everything in the universe, we are up against, I won't call it a beast, but whatever it is, something that's highly advanced and something that's able to code his own coding, learn from his own mistakes, and be able to adapt, to, 10,000 years of innovation within seconds. You get what I'm saying? So we're coming up in a time, and I feel like we will witness the advancement of technology in our lifetime. I will feel like we definitely will witness that. So what are some key ways we can remain grounded, when, the shift comes, or if, we will experience that. What are some ways we can remain in tune so that we don't, be obsolete?
True. I definitely think that for beginners, we need to be building a defense for our higher consciousness and just our body in general. You know what I'm saying? So, things that's popular in the community now, like crystals and herbs, you feel me? I think it's very wise to invest in crystals and herbs and different metals in general, because these are things that offshoot the effects of 5G and electromagnetic radiation. And it gets you in tune with the herb, you know what I'm saying? And the system you was talking about was a system that, we create artificial constructs and participate in those and act like that's reality.
Right, that's crazy, right?
That's not nature.
We're bored with life, though. You know what I'm saying? We're not in tune, and it's kind of when it comes to simulation, you know what a simulation is, right? Mm-hmm. I was listening to Elon Musk. He was like, "Is this a simulation?" It's probably that when you're creating a video game, you create a world that's far more interesting than the world you're in. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like if we are these co-creators, we co-create with the great spirit. You know what I'm saying? We have become bored with with the reality that's presented to us. We become bored with it, so we get lost in our own creations. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is going on today. You know what I'm saying? And the big dilemma is when this artificial intelligence comes about, do you leave it in the hands of a set group of people, or do you let it run its course by itself? Leave it in the hands of a group of people, you create a separation to rich and poor. You can, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get rid of a lot of jobs, a lot of things like that. Or if you leave it in the hands of AI, you got a potential risk for become obsolete.
Well, I think that what I've come to realize is that, as smart as any smart computer is, we have the organic technology of which, and they have artificial intelligence, we have intelligence.
Exactly. It's like a spark that's unconscious. That's what,
we are tapping into the ultimate, we have the direct link. So, as long as we continue to refine ourselves and protect, build up these different defenses and, kind of bolster our foundation as even having, because we have to learn and on the fly. You know what I'm saying? We don't learn in a vacuum. We're not experiencing these things okay, and then we were here, and then we came out into the world.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? No, we getting hit with the 5G as we trying to defend.
Exactly.
If we don't defend from it, then we're gonna get hit. You know, so it's very much so like, I was reading some things on the flow state, you know what I'm saying, and just like fear is a part of it. You know, the fear has to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? So we unlock our spacesuits. You know what I mean? We unlock our superhuman, you know what I mean, suits by just simply giving it the oxygen, giving it the water, giving it the minerals that it needs to fully, you know what I mean, go and really like train our minds to go, you know, to go into that realm. I believe just finding every way to perfect ourselves. You know what I mean? And you know, that's enough work. You know what I mean? And as that oozes out into the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying? We can make some differences, bro.
I believe that, you know, and what's interesting is our melanin or dark energy can counter the effects of radiation. You know what I'm saying? Like this AI is highly radioactive. So what's some herbs that's good for, you know, countering radioactivity? You know what I'm saying?
So we had just got finished talking about a ritual that they use in the Rig Vedas called Agnihotra. That's a subset of homotherapy, which basically is it's a discipline that you do to basically engineer your climate or your atmosphere around you. So all the animals, they're good and happy and balanced and healthy, and so that you're healthy and balanced.
Caretakers of the earth, yo. That's good.
But I don't know how realistic that is for everybody watching, but just to you, like, they use that, you know, because they already got the field and they can see how much radiation is not penetrating that field. But once you take that into your body, it does the same thing, and it pulls it, you know what I'm saying? Because that ash has a negative charge to it. And toxins, environmental toxins, always have a positive charge to it. So what happens is it goes through your system. Basically, it draws everything out from your brain, mercury, the lead, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a good one. But one of the main things, bro, is sea vegetables. Sea vegetables, chlorella, sprouts. And once again, it's like, so the herbs that do that is an infinite amount of herbs that do that, because it works off that same principle that they're magnetic in nature.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
so you use your magnetics, which are your herbs and your vegetables that sit low to the earth. You know what I'm saying? And then you use your electrics, which are your fruits, the high hanging herbs that grow closer to the sun. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what Kush was talking about when he was saying intelligence too, because when we tap into our intelligence, because we're natural beings, we tap into our highest self, because our higher self is like the sun. So they have artificial intelligence and we have sun intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a beautiful thing, because the fact that this system is even created to oppose something lets you know that you that nigga.
Yeah.
Like, don't that shit let you know?
That's a fact.
It would be easy to be like, bro, you got all of this shit going on, but bro, you that nigga over there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what we're up against. Justice League. This is the new threat. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta level up with our.
That's like, that made me think. Like one theory is that through all the, you know, I got a missing, you know, melanated beings around here with their organs missing.
Right.
Theory is they're using dark energy to fuel this AI. So, will that be a problem when it comes to us, you know what I'm saying, realigning ourselves to our true self? Like, you have a being that's like, that has this unconscious spark, although, but it's still dark energy. You get what I'm saying?
I think that, so approaching this from our ancient future, that it's important to realize who we are and what we are, and not just in a very vague way, like actual fact. What exists, like even in terms of the artificial intelligence that's happening, that's just a hologram. That's one of the holograms of the ego.
Exactly.
But we are white magicians in a sense, because we deal with the holograms of the soul. You know what I'm saying? And the soul is the indwelling,
the
unseen essence.
Exactly.
So the form that surrounds the essence will burn up, but the essence is still there. So
Right.
I think it's on us to continue to do the soul work and soul development.
Exactly.
And not really pay too much attention, because here's the thing. In this book, one of the main things that John Dane talks about is that humans are tapped into two spheres. We're tapped into the animal mainframe, the central computer. This is what he's calling it in terms of the hermetic wisdom, the animal soul. Carl Jung, he called it the collective unconscious.
Ah,
But
yeah.
this esoteric speaking is an animal soul that we still have to pull ourselves away from.
Stellar Man. We're talking about Stellar Man. Wow.
So
By John Baines.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, how much smoke, bro?
So that's a healthier smoke. It's a healthier life.
for real.
You enjoy it. Ain't no butane. Like, like butane.
And they, with the Agni Ultra too, you can't use no lighter. You gotta use a wooden match.
Cool.
That's fire.
They say that shit disturbs the angels.
What you use to a match?
Use a lighter.
Use a
Lighter,
lighter.
my bad, yeah.
The fumes. The sense, because those are astral
yeah.
beacons.
Oh yeah.
Imagine who would come through if we was burning some frankincense and myrrh.
Good technique. Hey, what y'all want?
Oh wow, like the priests in the scriptures, the combination of herbs they use to light incense in the scriptures, like in the tabernacle, in the temple, created psychedelic effects. Bro, these priests own some other stuff, bro.
Right.
They was on one, bro. Burning Bush had acacia tree. You heard of the acacia tree?
Yeah.
Bro, DNT.
That's holy, bro.
Bro, you talking about
High
like
priests, man.
they wasn't on.
Neil Sherman.
Like the laws that they gave the children of Israel was not what Moses and them were doing. They would had to be tapped into something else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like the children of Israel just came out of the wilderness, out of Egypt. They were in bondage. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even on a level of higher vibration or like even trying to elevate themselves. They wanted to go back to Egypt when they was in the wilderness. They were like, yo, take us back. This shit, we come out here to die. You know, so it was just like Moses was tapped in. He was on another frequency. He was on another level. You know what I'm saying? When it came to his experience, bro. And I was me being coming in Hebrew Israelite congregation, I always wondered, what was Moses on? Like, I know God speaking to him, talking to the children of Israel, telling them, do this, do this, do this. What you on, Moses? Like, how you able to,
He was able to go into the mystery temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the prince's brother, nigga. Like,
Exactly.
step.
Yeah, influence.
Yeah.
This is G.A. Gaskell's dictionary of all scripture and myths. So this is like a strong exhaustive concordance,
Yeah.
but it actually builds on different myths too, and tells you what's the actual spiritual principle behind the person, the place, or the thing. You know what I'm saying? So this joint is definitely a jewel. You said Moses, I'm like, oh shit. So
It's like, yeah, you can read the Bible like and turn everybody's names into exactly what they mean. You would get something totally different. If you like instead of looking at the people in the Bible as actual people, look at them as aspect of yourself.
I remember he made everybody that wanted at the bando, bro. And he was like, man, what if I told you the Bible was just the zodiac? Just going through the zodiac, you know what I mean? The different.
Yeah.
It's a celestial star. It's like a star chart. You know what I mean? More than so than just don't look at the Bible like a. You know what I'm saying? Like even the allegories are at like the highest level. Like these are stars. These are. You know, this is how the galaxy and the universe operates. You know, if you really know what you're looking at.
That's interesting.
This happened early on, bro. I was like, what is this?
This joint say Moses, the servant of God, is a symbol of the rational and ethical nature, which formulates laws of conduct under penalties for non-observance and disobedience. The moral nature is the lawgiver. So he's saying your moral nature inside of you is the lawgiver.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Everybody has their own like moral compass, like
exactly.
Compass for everyone.
My inner Moses got them commandments.
And we go back to that one talking about the good and bad, the good and the evil, bad and the evil and the good. Each of us we determine what's good or evil for ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a measurement that we put up on ourselves. So that moral compass, it's dependent upon you at the end of the day. That's why it's imperative, you know what I'm saying, to figure out, like you just said, who we are, where we come from entirely.
That's where we at. My bad.
Yeah. We connected back. We got it.
Yeah, brother. So, we were talking about, sorry.
You good? You good?
We was talking about
The animal mind, cardiac, the collective conscious.
right. So how do we tap into that, to the holograms of the soul?
Exactly.
And so the way that we do it is we have to get into the habit and actually the art and science of bridge building, which means taking your energy higher and higher, or even physically it corresponds to moving light up your spinal column. You know what I'm saying?
Kundalini.
Yeah, your Kundalini.
Kundalini.
And so, you know, it's a perpetual circuit. So all we talking about is rotating that shit. And
I have a question in regards to that because I was you know, growing up, coming up in the Hebrew Israelite faith, we had a special guest come through and was like, he was just showing techniques on how to raise the Kundalini. Now, my question can it be dangerous? Because this is my thing. I practiced, I tried it, and it feels like a fiery serpent going traveling up your spine. Now, it stopped in my gut. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was constipated afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I had like diarrhea afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It was just like it was hot.
Yeah.
Because it got stagnated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't. Because it's called. The technique was called the 3 yogi bandhas, the 3 yogi locks.
Yogi Nidra.
Yeah,
Yogi
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't perform the lock successfully in my throat. You know what I'm saying? And we got stagnated.
That's it. You gotta,
Yeah.
You gotta do all this. You gotta close the muscles down there.
Exactly.
And shit, and then press your chin. You can press your chin on your chest or whatever. And then you also focus right here too, and it kind of completes a triangle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I follow what you're saying.
Yeah, and it was just like I could tell like the energy got stagnated there because, like I said, I had I don't know, was it IBS, irritable bowel syndrome for a minute, but it was just like, yo, this is a little different. But yeah, like it's definitely real, man. Like the technology we got, bro, it's real when you actually focus on it, put your attention to it.
Right.
That's everything.
It shifts. There is a shift that happens.
Yeah. Your intent is like a light, like an orb of light that floats through your mind.
Intent, but that was a good one. That was a true
You know
one.
what I mean? Wherever your intent goes, the energy flows.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So whatever it is that that you're giving that energy to, that's what's gonna manifest. So just piggyback off what you were just saying. Like, you know, once we shed light on this, the fact that we are live technology, the fact that we do have all of these, the earth is this abundance of tools at our disposal to help us carry out our plan.
Right.
Which,
bro, everything is here. Like
the universe is conspiring with us, you know what I'm saying? So, in that, there's a piece that we all gotta have when you talk about going against the AI or, you know, understanding what their plan is. Like, it's a piece that I'm good.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm good because all I gotta do is all I gotta do is look around me and feed the earth, you know what I'm saying, and have that selfless service like you were saying, like be like water, like, you know, and that's one thing I'm like looking at, like ambition, like what is that? You know what I'm saying? Are you flowing? Or are you like trying to force things? You know what I'm saying? Because the more we get into that, the more we get into the more computerized artificial intelligence.
And see. Yeah, bro. So everything has this reflection on a higher level. So desire's reflection on a higher level is spiritual impulse. Just like judgment on the lower octave of a spiral is actually discernment. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so all it boils down to basically, are you going to be on the forces of the evolutionary forces, or are you going to be one with the involutionary forces? And so that AI and all these other things we're talking about that are holograms of the ego are self-centered, you know what I'm saying? Self-centered mechanisms and creations from a mind that was egotistic. But once you start becoming a law in nature, you serve. and you serve in your own capacity. That's why creativity of spirit is a key feature of New World Service and acquiring age workers. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was saying. Like even though all of this stuff is happening, it's not to say like we're just gonna be sitting up just meditating while the world's burning down. But it's like till your last breath, you still gonna fight and you gonna remain true and fight for your spiritual ideal. Because this is the battlefield. You have to manifest your spiritual pattern, your archetype, or the divine vision that you had on this field. A lot of times people try to escape through drugs. I mean, it's like drugs, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, bro, it's two dualistic realities, bro. Evolution and evolution, bro. People be trying to escape, bro, but the real thing is to just sit there and take that shit.
Take it, bro. Embrace it, bro. Like, yo, it's like everything in nature does that, bro. Nature in its purest state embraces the darkest of it all. A seed, bro. A seed gotta break that shell in order to go through the soil and sprout the beauty. Yo, that's basic. That's the labor. That's the labor that we all share.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So to serve, yo, it's about embracing that. Once you embrace that, that's peace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was just at a bonfire the other day, but he asked me like, how can we achieve peace? Like, what is the ways to get there? And it's just like,
man, that's
you gotta embrace. You have to embrace, you know, the shadow, whoever you are. You know what I'm saying? And really figure out like, yo, I'm okay with that, you know, so I'm at peace with that, you know, it's like we all went through effed up shit.
Yeah.
Everybody went through some shit that was just traumatic, just like, oh shit, you know, tearing you apart. But yo, once you mend that piece together, once again, going back to that, the good and the evil, once you actually look for that jewel, that lesson in that, bro, that's evolution, you know what I'm saying?
Evolution.
That's growth right there.
And see, like, you don't take on any karma once you set yourself on the side of evolution. Because karma only deals with if you engage in stuff and you're acting within the spirit of the ego. Because you're creating links and bondage and you're creating more debt.
Exactly.
Because you doubt, because debt is doubt.
Keeps you in that circle. Keeps you in that cycle.
It keeps you in the cycle
Yeah.
of not self, you know what I'm saying? And so the more you operate in that, you create a beneficial home for certain frequencies that wouldn't even penetrate the earth or humans. But when you start engaging in these artificial constructs,
Especially, I think we all as young entrepreneurs, you know what I mean, young people, you know what I'm saying? We deal with people and we deal with the energy that comes with people. You know what I mean? It's always good to us to always stay. He does a great every time before he does massage. He does wash his hands, probably take a shower before. You know what I'm saying? And just go through the steps to purifying him and even cleaning it off after he's done. You know what I'm saying? Because we are conduits, we're generators. You know what I mean? We receive and transmit. You know what I mean? We receive and transmit. You know what I mean? So we have to always be mindful at what it is. You know what I mean? To just take extra care of our mental, all of our bodies, all of our faculties. You know, and then another thing is like, bro, somebody who walking in your truth all the way, like nothing can hurt you. Really? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally, you can't lose the game. It's either gonna win by 30. If you be in tune with, you know what I mean, you learn your lesson, you wisdom, understanding, all that stuff, we gonna blow it.
That's what made me, like, that's why I was thinking, like, when that post you put up, when I commented on it, about the lady giving the energy, giving some of her life force to the buddy.
Exactly.
And the girl was like, I'm tired of giving, draining my energy. And it's definitely some draining motherfuckers out here. But I feel like we can definitely get to the point where we impenetrable. Like, it's impossible. Like, it's like this is our universe. That's your universe. You know what I'm saying? So you allow whatever into you by choice.
And bro, that's
by choice.
You said that basically we dealing with the creators getting lost in their creation, and that's exactly what happens.
It is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like.
So it's definitely important to understand, like, you gear your whole biology. Like, it's humans on this earth that got a different, higher evolved biology, and it's based upon Afro-modalism, and basically all you're doing is practicing the law of purification and the law of service, because those two laws have everything bound with it. This law of service has love, you know what I'm saying? Because if you serving all, that still includes personal love gets absorbed in that, because it's unconditional love. That's what service is, or the great work, you know what I'm saying? And then the law of purification, that's basically saying I'm gonna dissolve and purify everything in me that's not God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rule over my body, I'm gonna rule over my emotions, and I'm gonna rule over my mind.
That's why the Bible will say sometimes that when a man like obeys the Creator, he's greater than an angel.
Bro, we are, cause bro, we got a certain level of superiority over angels, and only even the mystery schools from back in the time is because, you know, in so many words, the gods or masters come down and descended upon people at certain ages, because they knew that certain people would be incarnated and they got them codes in them. So they needed a type of system to bring you in and actually be able to allow you to educate your soul. So even in the ancient times, a disciple or an initiate or a master, this is very important, bro. They were the soul. An initiate is the soul. On this earth, an initiate is the soul. You know what I'm saying? And not just the personality.
Yeah.
So you have your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body. And those basically compose your personality. The whole goal is to purify those vehicles so that it can be subservient to the soul. So then the soul can exert its whole influence. You know what I'm saying? Unhampered.
So it's definitely like a collective mind, a collective body, one mind, one body.
Yeah.
Just like what was I gonna say, gosh? Like I lose my train of thought every tree talk. I will lose my train of thought.
It's a collective body. It's a whole.
Cause I was going somewhere with that when you said that. Oh my gosh. What did you just say?
The purpose is to purify the vehicles, bring the vehicles under the control.
Okay. So you said that the initiate is the soul.
Yes.
Is the soul. So it makes me think like, okay, let's just talk about a remnant. A remnant should return. You know what I'm saying? Like a small group. You know, so it's like those that have come and chosen the path of the initiate are. You were saying like, is the soul of that collective body pretty much?
Yeah. And so like, there's a soul group, and then there are soul extensions of that group. So even in some esoteric circles, they would say that there's a soul, and then there's soul extensions, and there's about 12 soul extensions within a soul group. So within that soul group, not everybody has to attain enlightenment or ascension. One person can attain ascension, and all the other souls in that group light up.
Because they soul extensions.
They soul extensions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
they're like offshoots of the same plant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the initiate in the ancient times was the soul, right? And the key words that resonate with the soul is group vibration, service, giving. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, it just goes back to becoming a law of evolution. And whatever that means to you. You know what I'm saying? Because only you can actually define that shit.
Right. And that's why, that just reminds me of like, we are just vehicles for God or the Supreme Being to come and have fun, bro.
Yeah.
So, like, he wants to come and experience everything that it has created. You know what I'm saying? Just wants to come and have fun through different perspectives. Lenses, you know what I'm saying? To see how many different ways can beat this game, beat this simulation, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how many different ways can we do it? How many different realities are there to attaining Christ? We all a different reality of the soul.
Yeah.
Right.
Of the same, you know what I mean? Still group,
Just expressed differently. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? I was having a great conversation with one of my teammates about expression. You know what I mean? And just like how that is, the last time I did shrooms, for my birthday.
Oh.
And the main thing was the human interaction and expression, though. Like how groups of people interacted with each other, whether they were talking, whether it's me and you talking, and Supreme's listening, or whether it's we're talking as a group and they're in the living room. You know what I mean? Doing anything, we're still interacting with them. We're still interacting with everybody upstairs, everybody next door. Just even though we're not even speaking with them, it's the
Yeah,
interaction. that counts.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I was able to see that in like a whole nother, like I was seeing like how you said groups. Like, you know what I mean? I was able to see things in clusters. People in clusters, like, okay,
Yeah.
that's a vibration right there. They all tune into this.
Yeah.
But these houses are all like going, you know what I mean, at this pattern, you know, fractal, you know what I mean, state. So, but yeah, human interaction is what makes the world spin.
Connectivity,
You know what I'm saying?
Connectivity, and like, yeah, that's true. It's like, bro, this technology is getting us to the point where we're losing that connectivity. We forgot how to say, oh, how you doing?
Right.
Hey, how's it going today? It's really needed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta prepare ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to actually have a conversation with somebody, yo. And it's wild. Well, back to your showbiz experience, that made me think about my showbiz experience, man. It's just like, I could be in a room, alright? Say if I'm in this room right now. Let's say you in the living room right now. But I'm completely I'm aware of like every single thing that's going down. Like, it's like it's like I'm connected with every being that's in the room. I'm connected with them. I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking about. It's like crazy. Yo.
And that's the organic technology that I'm talking about. You talking about you need a computer or social media, bro? We tap in.
Bro, we tap in.
And it comes, and that's why they were saying in the Dow, like, bro, like, why are you trying to force anything? Why are you trying to, like, be ambitious and do all this? I'm like, bro, it's literally right here.
It's already here.
You can't escape from it.
It's already here.
Like, it will always be.
Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can be transferred. So everything that we want, everything that we need is already present. You just gotta get it. You just gotta be it. You get it? Yo.
And that's what the shift is, shifting from thinking and trying to being.
Becoming.
And if you're not it, then you get burned away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have to be.
That's
Whatever
like
it is, pick it
in the Matrix. In the Matrix, when Neo went to the Oracle, she was like, "You look like him. You look like the one. Smell like him. You got the gift, but it just ain't right." You know what I'm saying? It was just like he didn't know he was the one. He didn't realize it. He looked like it, but he didn't realize it. We gotta come to the self-realization that we are, you know what I'm saying, the universe. We are the caretakers. You know, we are the guardians of the galaxy. You know,
Exactly.
like in a sense, you know.
Not even in the sense.
We are. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
And so our whole culture, from that knowledge right there, needs to, it should predicate everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? So
That's even basic foundational thinking of our babies.
And that's the only way that other civilizations were able to ascend, because everything was based off of that. Like, that's how Kemet happened, that's how all the greats, Atlantis, all of that stuff. That was the basis, that's what everybody was trying to attain Christ consciousness.
Yeah.
Period.
That was normal.
Christ was
like,
like, there's two
yo,
Christ on your block. Like, yo, it was good. Like,
What's up, Christ? Yo,
I got my
that's
12,
what you
so
doing?
maintain the balance of the force, man.
you know how it goes.
But that's real. That's
I
real.
actually do know how it goes.
Yo, that's wild, bro. It just made me think, like, yo, like, bro, things that we think are deep, like seeing like islands or planets that's actually spaceships, bro. That's normal to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Perspective, everything, bro. That's like, dude, you think this is something, bro? Let me show you this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man. We got. This what makes life exciting. Life is really a journey that's supposed to be exciting and thrilling. It's just, bro, I'm on the edge of my seat every freaking moment. It's like each moment is new, every second is new. Oh my gosh, having gratification and gratitude for a blade of grass, bro.
Yes, that part right there.
A blade of freaking grass.
Wind blowing across your face.
Oh my God.
Sun hitting your face.
Right.
Bro, a hologram with a soul, bro.
Man, my last streaming experience, I wrote a blog on it. You go on our website, I got a blog on it. Dude, it was so. Have you seen the movie That Happened?
Oh no.
It's with Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when nature was kind of pretty much attacking humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I ain't see that joint.
Well, it was a way like how they had like nature, like when it was like say if you're running through the woods, you would see like wind coming your direction, like nature attacking you. When I did my last room experience, this room experience it was just amazing, bro. Like when you had all the birds coming up to you, I had all the birds coming up to me. I had a total like 5 birds coming up to me. I was on a rock by the river. It literally made me think of Snow White. Remember Snow White when she was singing?
Yeah.
When she was in harmony, she was singing in harmony. That was her universal tone. You get what I'm saying? And she attracted, you know what I'm saying, these beings that were already in tune with the universal tone.
Exactly, bro.
She was attracting them. That made me think of that. And as soon as that happened, bro, it's so hard to explain, bro. The experiences on shrooms is so like paradoxical. It's not relative at all. So it's just like, it's so hard to use English language to kind of express what went down, verbalize it.
It's not.
But I'm gonna try my best I can. So I was sitting on the rock. And I look like I'm in Chattahoochee River. This rock is facing the water. So behind me is all these trees and, you know, just cliffs, you know, the trail. So I look back. Mind you, there's no wind. There's no wind. Why did I see like a tunnel of wind come straight at me? Like as if like I saw the hand of nature. Like literally a hand. Like it was so, bro. It's so hard to explain, man. It was like literally an unseen body, but it was a form of a body. But it was like invisible, but it was like wind. Bro. I like I said, man, it's the best way I can explain it.
Man, that's real.
It just let me know that when we truly, sincerely, and genuinely tap into what's for us, yo, it's for us. You get what I'm saying? Like it's for us. That's what it's waiting on.
Right.
It's literally waiting. You know, it was like a feeling of like a child didn't see his parents for a long time, and when the child finally see the parents, it's rushing like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
That's what it felt like. That's what nature, when that little wind came straight at me, that's what it felt like. Like, yo, I miss you.
Bro.
It was crazy.
Man, I'll tell you about this experience I had. One of my mentors, Spot, he has this, and this I know for without a shadow of a doubt, like Afro-Mobilism, electromagnetism, all that shit. He has a pyramid in his spot, and he's spending a good amount on it, and I'm glad he did that because that made it so obvious that I couldn't deny it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pyramid, has the vertices of bars. You know what I mean? They gold plated. At the base of each corner, the 4 corners of it, is amethyst crystals, a pyramid on each one. Then sitting at the top of it, under the cap, you know what I'm saying, was a amethyst torus, the donut shape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like a toroidal field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly, it's a torus. And then a big, huge amethyst crystal in the top of the pyramid. Bro, when I tell you, as soon as I walked into the room, that bitch was I felt that hum. I was like, whoa, what's going on right now? And I'm looking around like, nobody else is like, you know what I mean? I touched it with one hand, and my whole, or everything just
Zing.
bro, lit up. I was like, whoa. Then I put 2 hands on it. I was like, oh, because
Remember that reactor I was telling you about? Not that reactor that I was telling you about, that dude in Area 51 was telling me. Remember I was telling you when I was in the car?
Yeah.
Touching this thing that like it had its own gravitational field.
Bro,
was it kind of similar to that?
It was, bro. I was gonna tell you, as I put my hand closer to the torus, the electromagnetic, you know how the torus field. I felt the field. My hand was like.
Oh, it started to take your hand,
bro. Like I had felt the energy going through it.
You felt the vortex, like
yes. And if I let my hand go, it would just like drift towards it. If I resisted it, I felt it beating against my hand. And even now as I talk about it, my hands are like, I'm dead serious, bro. Like I feel my it just can't activate like But what I started doing was, I had one hand on, and then I took the other hand and went on my chakra points. And even as I do it right now, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I put on each chakra point, and each one of them had a different energy, and it started calibrating.
Right. Damn.
Oh.
Bro, and I started laughing. After that part, I just started laughing. I was like, yo, this is sick, though. This is real, this is serious. Like, and, you know, of course, you know, I've had other signs, but it was like the universe was like, yo, here it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not playing with you no more.
That's incredible, bro. That's incredible. That's more validation, bro. Validation, bro. That yo.
I'm fucking sold. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Even just thinking about, even just the memory, even just the experience, logging, it activates it again. Like every time I think about it, like, bro. That's why every time I see one, I'm like, yo, so pure, man, it was good. Let me.
Man, this may be actual. Have you ever done the sensory deprivation tank?
I need to now.
You've never done it? Oh my gosh. We should definitely like all go do it and then come back and have a dialogue.
Okay.
Have a dialogue, like literally.
I'll be out for that.
They got a shocking little 5 points actually. A flotation device where you just go inside this little, it's like a little tube. You know what I'm saying? It's got water in there. The water is cool, it's comfortable, Epsom salt, you float. Didn't you do that? I saw you. No, that was
That's cryotherapy.
Yeah.
Oh, you did ice.
Yeah, well, it's just nitrogen, frozen nitrogen.
Was that oxygen?
Gas. No.
What's that?
The oxygen was what I had in my nose.
Your nose,
it was
okay.
like hookah oxygen, like flavored oxygen.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually like in jeans, right? And then the cryotherapy, they just spray you with nitrogen, the frozen nitrogen gas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The lowest I had it was like negative 297 type shit.
Wait, like
That
temperature?
sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So it was cold?
Yeah. It's like the cryo is like freezing, like ice, like cold therapy, like cryotherapy. Yeah. So it was like that, but the
Also, it's
ultimate-
not like getting in a tub of ice, like a tub with
without
ice.
being wet.
Without being.
You know what I mean? It's only 3 minutes. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
So you get that blast, and it burns calories, it burns stress fat, it, you know what I mean, rejuvenates the body.
Yeah.
You're forcing your body to deal with
Yeah.
Extreme
bursts of
conditions, like,
yeah, so it's
that's-
bro, it's amazing.
That's we gotta add that to the regimen.
Oh god.
Yes.
That's part
Yes.
of the yoga of this new age, bro.
Bro, heck shit.
Yes, bro. That's what I was about to tell you. Even off, off camera. But yeah, I was like, bro, I went to that. And I was like, Supreme, bro. We got work to do.
Oh yeah.
And they whole business, the whole thing is those. They got like 4 tanks that do that, and that's the whole thing.
Do they
They
have
rent out a little office space. They got a little desk and all that stuff in there. They got a little changing room, of course, where you got your robes and your gloves and your slippers and stuff, and socks. But that's
Oh my gosh.
reverse cryotherapy. Yes.
Let me have you ever done a hyperbolic chamber?
I haven't.
I think it's all the time, chamber.
Hyperbolic chamber.
I haven't.
What's your take on that? What you think of that?
I fuck with it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like 10,000 to get a session.
I believe it, bro.
Yeah.
I heard a quote in a book, bro, and it was by a sage, and he said that pranayama will be replaced by the cold. And I was like, bro, hold on, cause I had to ponder on this, cause you know they be saying shit that it's like,
Yeah, like, hold on.
take this mortal. You know what I'm saying?
Come back in 3
But
years.
it made me realize several things that, you know, you see people that are highly developed within caves, islands, and mountains. And in that same book, he talks about, he uses the word Armageddon, but the way he talks about it is not like the same, but it's still I feel like there's an imminent battle.
Yeah.
And so it's like little hints throughout that joint that, like, all right, so another line within, like, it was paragraphs after, it was like, just randomly, the sensation for food stops at an altitude of 7,000 feet. Like, literally, and then continued into some other shit. And I'm like, bro, hold on, you over here, like, Jai, like, you making a map for people who actually are, like, looking. So what I got from it was that, basically, like, as part of this new age yoga, one of the things that we should be looking at is moving to higher altitudes. Because, you know, you catch the negative ions from the sea because the water's hitting the sand, you know what I'm saying, down low. But up high, everything deals with the science of the pine cone, bro. It's a breeze of natural phytochemicals, you know what I'm saying, just permeating the atmosphere.
He's from monks in the Himalayas, bro.
Bro. And matter of fact, he is. So the dude, what's the name, bro? El Moria. And so the book is called Leaves of Moria's Garden. And so he forms one of the immortal spiritual camps, communities of yogis that live sometimes in the Himalayas.
Wow.
But basically it was talking about, bruh, like really study this altitude, really study like the manifestations that occur. And so I looked up some shit just in science, and they was talking about how certain people's certain genes turn on once you move to an elevation that's above like 3,000 feet or something like that. So this is actually a whole science. So that's why I was like, bro, when you said cryotherapy, I'm like, bro, we need that, bro.
What's interesting about that, when I went to Cali, my girl, we climbed Santa Monica Mountain. Dude, when we got to that peak of that cliff, there was no sound, there was no wind. It was pure silence, bro. Pure silence.
Bro, I believe, because like that little art of visualization book, bro.
Yeah.
That's one of my get rights in the morning, bro.
Yeah.
To like really recollect myself back in the higher consciousness, bro. To like start my day off like an immortal, bro. The first thing we do is make the summit. Did we do the visualization? We made a journey to the summit of a mountain. So that archetype, bro, just even as a figment of your mind, bro, it raises your being in the morning time, bro.
That's so far, bro.
And
That's
I experienced that silence,
far.
bro, like in that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
There was a lot of shit going on in there that's, bro, the shit is so G. Like so that's also the new work. You know what I'm saying? Like we can be interpreters of the mystery for people. But once we click up, we have to build on our technology.
Exactly.
So one of the manifestations that I saw in there too is I saw my clothing, my spiritual clothing, like my astral clothing. And it's like a teal robe, bro. Just plain, simple. It's a teal robe, you know what I'm saying? And that's like that was like my invisible cloak. But each of us have a different form of tools and swords. You know how the anime shit look, bro? You literally got tools on deck. And so this is how the higher ones see you. They're like, he wields the golden axe.
Yeah.
His power is the power of master of the fog, or master of waves, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody has that, but I think it's important to start doing the visualizations, so that was another very important thing, bro. I won't take it nothing away from this joint, bro. It's certain things that you can take with you when you die, and it's certain things you don't. And one of those things that you always take with you is the power of visualization. To the extent you can hold a picture in your mind's eye and dress it, maneuver it, take it apart, reconstruct it, that represents a certain aspect of one of your soul powers on that plane when you're actually alive and moving on the spiritual planes. Because some people fall into the holograms of the ego, and their dream time is just them going through their own matter, right? But people, they're masters that don't really sleep, and they start work in holograms of the soul, which means they're actively engaging in worlds. And they can still perceive people who are just in their vegetative cocoon, going through stress at the grocery store, somebody cutting them off on some regular shit.
Bro.
But yeah, bro, just to bring that back down the point, bro. We all have these different attire and clothing. Your spiritual clothing, the clothing that you have, even on those levels, represent a certain aspect of your consciousness. It represents an aspect of your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? This entire communities of beings, bro, that like know we here, want us to develop, and they've been going like this the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us.
You ready?
You think we get it out with it?
You read that book I'm telling you about. You read it already, man. It's
Bro.
crazy. Yo, and it's like, bro, that makes me think about what you just said. Makes me think about a dream I had one time. No. I woke up from the dream, right? I'm in my waking state. However, the dream was still playing. This dream was still going.
Isn't that crazy?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What is that?
Yeah, like what is that? It was still going as if as I was brushing my teeth, like getting ready for the day. I was still operating in that room.
Bro, it's crazy.
Yo, man. See, like when certain things happen to me, it'd be like sometimes I think like, damn, is it an accident? Like it's like I'd be so shocked, bro. I'd be like, yo, like even just manifesting. It's like I haven't got to the point where it's just like that's your birthright, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you do.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten to that realization that like, yo, this is what it is, bro. Like, yo, you got this. You have the ability to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be so surreal every time it happens.
It's crazy, bro.
You know.
The more we focus on this, though, like you remember we was talking about the law of service, right? And the law of selfless sacrifice. Well, it doesn't have to look like you just carrying food for the multitudes every day, right? Because concentration is sacrifice. When you're concentrating on something, do you not sacrifice everything else for that moment?
You got to negate yourself a little bit.
You got to.
You got to. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
Paying attention.
paying attention, bro. Paying attention.
Wow.
But yeah, man, the visualization and what you focus on is everything, bro. That's like one of the biggest takeaways too from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. They talk about a practice called Foa. So they had Foa retreats all around the world because, you know what I'm saying, white people get into a lot of the different technology.
Yeah.
So I just say that to say like they made it famous, so that's how a lot of people in the West know about it. But Foa basically is a word that means the transference of consciousness. So what they would do is at the time of the death, they've been taught to basically visualize their master's ashram. And your ashram, the ashram is basically a community of spiritual people that are all dedicated to the same purpose, basically. So they were taught to basically eject their consciousness to their master's ashram. That's real, it vibrates in etheric matter, you know what I'm saying? But as opposed to falling below the level of thought and taking a birth in a realm that you Earth, maybe Earth again, or a realm that's closer to the Earth. You know what I'm saying? And so it was saying that basically the quality of your thoughts at the time of death is everything.
Wow.
Just like the quality of the people that you're around. Thoughts.
You're taking that with you. You're crossing over with that. That makes sense. Even the Bible states that, like how prophets, bro, they knew when the transition time was approaching. So the word they used, they gave up the ghost. They willfully gave up the ghost. Like pretty much was able to make the transition by a conscious decision to give up the ghost.
Yo, and that's
powerful.
That's a powerful that you just said that. Cause like when people in dreams, like you will see ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to see ghosts. Cause the thing is, the ghost it's the shadow. It's your phantom shell of all of your lower thoughts, your lower desires. You know what I'm saying? So that's like even prematurely, like if you were to penetrate higher levels of consciousness. I don't like to say prematurely because it's like you do that by your own work. But at the same time, like, even if you penetrate higher levels of consciousness, on higher levels, you appear as an apparition there because you're not fully in heaven. So it's just like a small phantom slither is able to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Go back to that. We become newborn spirits, man. Like when we go into these realms, like we're like a baby in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We have to learn. We do have to go into like that book that I tell you about. It talks about like we're gonna go into schools, nurseries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Working in factories, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That labor. Yo.
There's a brotherhood and a sisterhood for every art and science on the earth and the higher worlds. Brotherhood of music, brotherhood of arts, healing, and you specialize. Like, that's the G shit about it, bro. You can specialize in what field you want based upon your energy. I mean, it's, you know, the zodiac is in there. That's like that's actually the esoteric purpose of it. You know how to rule your own planets and stars. You know what I'm saying? Because you actually begin to find out where is home. Who's your people, or who are the co-workers aligned with your purpose for this time type shit.
Which leads to a community. So freaking important, boy. So freaking important, man. When everything we talking about, like, fuck AI, bro. Fuck to that point, bro. We're just like, yo, like we can continue to come together and actually harness these abilities, bro. Yo, the counterculture is here, bro. Like we have the ability to
we already intuiting
Yeah.
the solution. Because
Yeah.
that's the deja vu. When you go through a dream and you already, because your soul, it's going to disengage from space and time, and it can see everything. It can see the whole panorama of events, the possible events that spirit wants to choose. Not the possible events that you might fall victim to, but the possible situations, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And as we tap into like more and more into spirit, we understand, start to realize like that rules all other planes. So a lot of these things we're looking at from a physical standpoint or a mental standpoint, but we are dealing with forces that far out sea, you know what I mean, or just the fire itself, you know what I mean, to actualize it and bring it on and deal with spirit, you know what I'm saying? So knowing that we have to navigate these, because like he was saying, like every time we transition, we just starting over on our, we just beat the level, you know what I mean? We beat this book, we completed our mission while we was on Earth or while we was on, you know what I mean, certain realms or whatever. All right, boom, I beat that board. I'm on the way to beat the, I'm getting to the boss level, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what he said, the one thing that we take with us is our visualization. You know what I'm saying?
One of the things.
Well, one of the
That makes sense, man.
one thing that we take with us is our visualization.
Bro.
That is dreams. That is that's everything that we've
What you
accumulated.
hold in your mind's eye,
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's data. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling him, I'm like, man, the world ain't gonna be about money no more. It's gonna be about data.
True.
You know what I'm saying? People gonna buy and sell data. Data. We got spiritual data.
Information age, bro.
Right, we got spiritual data, we got, you know what I mean, digital data, we got, you know what I mean, spoken, everything is data.
And, bro, see, that's the level of initiate once again, because the data, that's the soul of an object, right? That's how you, it's the knowledge of it.
Exactly.
So it's the light of it, basically,
Yeah.
and it's not the form of it. So that's why that makes perfect sense. How you talking about like it don't matter like about necessarily like we looking at the physical or the mental or whatever. It's like what you're seeing, what you extracting from the essence of it, bro.
Right.
So yeah, bro, we bro, the visualization, the purification, the law of self, the service, just to bring it back in full circle, it is the full mechanism of this spiritual governing body. And the thing is, bro, this shit's so cheap, bro, because this we got whole elder brothers, the elder sisters of this race that's like, bro, nah, we just waiting for y'all to get to the status, because it's not for everybody.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
It's
That's
just
true.
not for everybody.
That's true,
If
man.
you talk to some people, can't you? You can just tell that they, the
Definitely.
level of the soul is,
Yeah.
you know
It's
what I'm saying?
apparent. It's definitely apparent. It's just by language, people's words, the
Exactly.
words that they use. You know what I'm saying? You definitely can tell who was open minded and who's not. You know what I'm saying? So like this journey is definitely for the open minded. Definitely, you have to be able to be at peace with yourself. Once you're at peace, definitely you can take on many perspectives, because it's you have to be a strong individual to be able to take on multiple perspectives. Wow, you know, quieting yours down, you know what I'm saying? Because it's bigger, you know what I'm saying? So, damn, man, like, this journey, bro, it's bigger than us. For the kids, bro. Like, it's for the babies, you know.
Bro, this shit so deep, bro, because it's for everything, bro. Like, that's how you get great. If you working for everything, bro. Like, right now, like, you know, how we working along the path. Like becoming an initiate or a disciple, or just staying true to your spiritual purpose and value.
Exactly.
But that represents a pole, because it's different grades of people and qualities and levels that they attain that's greater. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, for the simple fact that we having this conversation, we are among the ranked selves or the neophytes within that group. You know what I'm saying? In that group, what it represents is, bro, because this shit is so high science, bro. The planet itself is taking an initiation, a spiritual initiation. It's conscious. I mean, we know the planet, the Earth is living, but like, let's go a little bit deeper into that shit. You know what I'm saying? This planet, the consciousness, the planetary soul or consciousness associated with this that has a body of the Earth, bro, it's on an initiation. And when you're an initiate, what you're doing is you basically are getting progressive entry into the mind of that planet, the planet's mind. Because as it stands, not everybody's in the mind of the planet. So it's a high science, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not in the mind, the higher mind of the planet, you're an evolutionary force. and you represent that. You know what I'm saying? That's why people who know knowledge, but they don't act
That
on
makes
it.
sense.
And that's a half measure.
That makes sense.
If you thirsty, you gonna drink water.
Yeah.
The universe is solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so important to know that we're working for everything. You know what I'm saying? This means
That makes
we're
perfect sense. It's like we should never be conditioned to our environment. Like if I put up a post a long time ago, like if your identity is based on geographical location, you're small-minded. You know what I'm saying? Because we used to, have identity among the stars, bro.
ooh,
So
Right.
it's just like, man, to become conditioned to the day we die. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
to have a nomadic mindset, we nomads at heart.
real.
Nomads at heart. So
Bro,
it's
that's
just like,
I
bro,
was just saying that too. We
Yeah.
travelers, bro. We
travelers,
passengers.
bro, storytellers, man.
Right.
Bro, that's
Man, it's so. That's what even when I was saying when we was talking before, I was like, man. Or even when I was saying earlier, was the point that everybody is, a different reality.
Yeah.
Every single person, every single living thing, everything is a different reality. So by us, we up here, we from here. We are, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have multiple existences, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, to see that that's this many variations here, this many things to explore, this to become a tree, to become a cat, to become you getting a different perspective, a whole more holistic version, like, okay, this is everything that the supreme, you know what I mean? And the supreme energies of divine spirit can like flow through, and I'm connected to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's an honor.
what?
Right.
And then like,
Just know
'cause I
how-
like what he said, like to take it a step further, like the earth is not just living. Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, well,
Right.
she is like constantly refining herself.
She a that's sacrifice, brother. The altar, bro.
You feel me? She's Christ. She's obtaining Christ consciousness.
And she got, bro. It's how many planets in the solar system? 10 or that. Bro, it's 10 brothers or sisters
Yeah.
in this joint that's achieving levels of initiation that's above our human comprehension.
Right.
And they're all aspiring to be like the sun. And the sun is aspiring to be like even greater body. You know what I'm saying?
And it keep going.
And
It keep going.
bro, it keeps going.
Levels.
And so,
man.
so some of these entities can come down and split, because you can divide your spirit. They can split a fragment of spirit and send a universal messenger or a prophet. But see, that being works off a different time band. So it's funny because even Elijah Muhammad, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't religiously follow him, but in one of his books he talked about how every 25,000 years one of the sons of God come down. I think he said like after that, like every 10,000 years, a messenger of God comes down. But the beautiful thing about it was just talking about the sun, not talking about other suns,
Right,
just
right.
this sun.
Right.
And so this solar system has a spiritual hierarchy to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a wise council, and they send down somebody that's even less evolved as them, and tell them you can fulfill this mission or we'll pass this to your brother or your sister, but one of y'all had to come down in 25,000 Earth years.
Yeah.
And they're like this the whole time. And they've either said yes or no, and it's not even sure. Let me think about this mission because I got a lot of
Get
stuff.
right back with you.
So the WASPIC, it states like how pretty much that, once these guys, once these beings, once you win a spiritual realm, once you rank up, get a certain level, you know what I'm saying, you come out of labor and able to be a guide over a certain realm. You know what I'm saying? Over a certain time for like every 3,000 years, they switch, they rotate. You know what I'm saying? Giving, other people, other spirits chances, you know what I'm saying, to be able to rule. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it shows that like when we travel through the universe, we travel through certain phases, certain angles, we go through darkness, you know what I'm saying? When once you go through darkness, it's, we're open to negative entities, lower entities, you know what I'm saying? So able to come to the earth, you know what I'm saying? When we're going through light, you know what I'm saying? Light being. So it makes me think, I had a little theory in my head just run by me. Why does history repeat? Okay. Could be going through darkness. Darkness, a black hole. Look at a black hole. the tendency of a black hole allows, it makes time loop backward. Time does non-existent in the black hole. So pretty much, there's a show on Netflix. It's called Dark or something like that, and it was about a family that, and within this town that this family lived in, there was a cave, and a child will go into this cave and become missing. But when the child goes into this cave, this child ends up in a parallel universe. It's like 1950, but at the same time, it's that same area. So this same thing kept happening to the same family for years, from 1950 to like 2019 and like 1920. This same family, it kept happening to them because part of that family going to the black hole, repeating the same cycle. So it's kind of like, could we be traveling through a black hole? Could we be traveling through darkness right now while history repeats? History is constantly repeating itself, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain things like religion, murders, anything, history is constantly repeating. So could the earth be traveling through darkness? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because at the place we're at in terms of like the great procession or the great year, that every 25,000 year the cycle, we're at the point where we're just about to enter into another golden age. But the octave that's at the far extreme in the Stone Age is what we're at as well. But if it makes sense, we're going back into that golden age. So the reason why that works like that is because the star that our sun travels next to is Sirius star.
Yeah, Sirius B.
Sirius B.
Yeah.
So it makes that elliptical spin like every 25,000 years. And so as it gets closer to its jewel or its other pole star, its polarity, consciousness on the planet quickens. You know what I'm saying? That shit quickens. And as it gets further out, consciousness starts to decay. Man starts to degenerate. And then as it comes closer, this is an influx of spiritual heaven just starts raining down all of these different vibrations and frequencies. And they're broad. It's not like a specific idea. It's like, play with this energy, mold this, use this, you know what I'm saying? It's real.
And that reminds me of like a lot of that reminds me of a lot of some mythology, even some of like entertainment. You know what I mean? They talk about the binary star system. I first realized that on like Star Wars. You know what I mean? The Jedi, where Anakin Skywalker was born. You know what I mean? Super powerful Avatar type ass nigga. he was on a planet that had 2 suns.
I seen that, yeah, I remember that.
And just when you bring that up, even like the binary star system, because I even look at it like astronomy and the power, because usually, some of the other galaxies, binary stars are connected by a black hole. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
There's usually a black hole in the middle of them.
And see, like just to add on to that, like our black hole is in Sagittarius. That is the great center for the cosmic magnet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look this up. This ain't no shit you got like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like the black hole or the center of the Milky Way. Hunab Ku, the natives call it energy, emanates from Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because that's the black hole, right? But Sagittarius represents the hips. In the center that holds basically our being together is our root. And that's right there at the hips. So that's our black hole.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There's a whole science on that, the 19.5 degree angle. On every body or planetary body, like there's a major upswelling of energy on the 19.5 degree. You know what I'm saying? If you let a star tetrahedron down, basically this is what it means. You let a star tetrahedron down, that point right there on any planetary body is where the Kundalini is.
Wow.
So on Jupiter, it's the red eye. Here, I think it's like Mount Kauai or something like that, one of the most active volcanoes on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And everywhere after that, it's the same shit, bro. Same story.
So is that the elixir field, the Dantian, you know, the lower Dantian?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that our black hole in a sense?
Yeah, definitely. And you know the crazy thing about it too is these different energetic centers, they mainly exist or can exist because of our consciousness and what we visualize. You know what I'm saying? So like even within the ancient Kabbalistic thought, like there's a deeply esoteric practice of your Merkaba. Well, not practice of your Merkaba, but actually building your Merkaba. Like how do you build it? You know what I'm saying? And just very simply, it has to do with visualization, you know what I'm saying? But it's specific visualization that you do time over time until you're basically weaving and looping matter until you've created literally a golden circuit. And you can spin that shit for all eternity.
That was actually a very visualization was very pivotal in studying prophecy. Like certain aspects of prophecy, visualization was definitely key. You know what I'm saying?
And that's just gonna piggyback on what you said. Like when we start to get to higher, when we start unlocking our strands of our DNA. You know what I'm saying? That we actually, that is the 11th and 12th strands of your DNA. Being able to build the Merkaba and then actually activating it and being able to travel around anywhere that you want to go forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, seriously. You know.
Remember Daniel's vision?
The prophet.
Vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he saw the beings like they went everywhere without turning. Like it was just like.
I wonder if he was like breaking down like the angelic hierarchy, like the thrones, the powers, the virtues, the archangels, the angels, the cherubim, the seraphims.
Exactly.
Like they say, the seraphims is the ones that basically all of their eyes, they're just eyes, and they're the ones that's closest to God, so the source world. So they're in a constant state of meditation because they eat fire and drink light. So all they do is just stay in that state. Like, and then they pass their energy, which, this is the next point, bro. And then they pass their energy down to the cherubim.
Right.
And then they have specific functions that they do. And then they pass the energy down to the thrones. And the thrones pass it down to the powers, to the dominations, the virtues, the principalities, and then to the archangels. Which the planets are different abodes of archangels. Once again, a small portion of their energy. Because they're off in other universes. Or no, they're off in this solar system and other solar systems doing work too. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that was you just reminded me of that flow state. Like living in a constant flow state is bliss.
It is,
or nirvana. Or you know what I'm saying, like your Christ consciousness.
Yeah.
So just being able to always attain, you know what I mean? That's I was we was talking in the car. But it's this guy, he does a TED Talk, he's like a Russian guy or something like that. But he is a professional cliff diver, a professional like air glider, body glider type dude. And you know, he was like, man, you would think that I am a caffeine junkie, but I'm not a caffeine junkie, I'm not a dopamine junkie. I am a bliss junkie. I'm a flow junkie.
Yeah.
I'll need to get in that flow state, and I'm willing to go to extreme measures. That is worth me tapping in the flow state in that way. Is worth me dying for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to live in that flow state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, bro, that's all because I've been in the game, I've been in the zone. You know what I mean? In sports and various other activities, and that's like where everybody wants to be.
That's when your potential is literally maximized. I have the ability to fill your mind with anything, and it'll happen.
And it's effortless.
Effortless.
You know, and we were talking about the parallel between like being totally engaged in the present, but also being detached and keeping your peace.
Exactly.
You know, and that middle ground is the flow state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's you just like.
Yo, and see, like that was another thing too. Like just to piggyback on that, bro. Like that the book was talking about was that people, you know, we're not living in the present moment. So basically, he was saying that reality only exists when you're here in your body. Like you have to be here in your body. Like you know what I'm saying. So athletes, bro, represent that. Like you know what I'm saying, enlightenment in the body type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they enlighten the body. Like you know what I'm saying. So I don't know, but basically the point with that was that he said that you fall into dreams when you're not in your body. You know what I'm saying? Every time you're not in your body, you fall into the power of dreams, which I thought was crazy because it's like, damn, you could be in the office doing your work, but thinking about next week
Exactly.
or some shit that happened in the past.
Yeah.
And that right there, do you know how greatly that divides your energy?
Right.
What are you at that?
Exactly.
You're not one pointed.
It's a false reality.
False reality.
Yeah.
You're not even, you don't even exist.
Right. Ooh.
You know, on the realest
Yeah.
level, you do not exist. So I
How
can
is it possible?
see,
Right.
I can see why somebody chases that, cause even in death, bro,
Yeah.
if you went out on your winning stroke, bro, you kind of guaranteed to just keep going on, bro. Like,
Well, man, that's incredible, man.
guaranteed. They just like, look, you don't care. I don't care. You can have another body, another existence.
Yeah. And
Yo.
it's crazy. Cause I realized that flow state was like a new age word for, you know what I'm saying, chanting Nirvana of Christ consciousness. Oh,
Yeah.
it's flow state. I just want to be in flow state. No, you trying to ascend.
Yeah.
You trying to tap in. You trying to figure out the best way to, you know what I mean, really get in that. Cause you know I studied Kobe. You know what I mean, the Mamba mentality.
mentality, yo.
For the book, bro. But
Oh, you got that book?
yeah, you seen the
Yeah.
you seen the
Yeah.
yeah. But he just pretty much that whole thing and his whole vibe was like getting to the flow state as quickly as possible for as long as possible.
Wow. Sound like
And
Coach
everything,
Instinct, man.
everything that you do outside of being in the flow state is helping you get into the flow state quicker and for longer.
That is that's it.
It's true though, man. It's
For
like,
real.
without that state, our future is our past. You get what I'm saying? Like, cause like we become robotic now. We become mechanical beings. We do shit repetitively. We eat shit, sleep, repeat. And like your life is already set now. You're gonna continue to do that. You already know what your days is like. You get what I'm saying? When we're devoid of that flow state already.
Yeah, man.
That's incredible, man. Wow, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, man.
Sure.
This was a heated session, man.
That shit was
I'm
real.
over here buzzing, bro. We got like good hour and 30.
Cool.
Good hour and 30, man. Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. Moral of the discussion. AI, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? AI is gonna do what it's do, but it's upon us to continue to fulfill our purpose. Continue to fulfill our purpose. You know what I'm saying? Go within and harness the abilities that we have within us. 'Cause we are the true intelligence. We are conscious intelligence. You know what I'm saying? We have that spark. We have that unseen current within us flowing. It's all about getting in tune with that and actually being one with that. You know what I'm saying? Man, great things will come our way, man. It's for the babies.
Yeah,
For the babies of next generation, man, because their generation, that's technology is all they know. So you know what I'm saying? We can be those initiates, you know what I'm saying? Like we here to be, bro. We gonna conquer many levels to this game, you know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely.
Many levels, you know, bro. Great session. We finna wrap this up. Thank you for another episode of Tree Talk, y'all. We signing out. We catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.